So, dann gucken wir uns mal an,
Doc!
ob wir Doc finden.
Marty,
Doc!
what are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan?
A plan, right. But what?
Wir versuchen mal alles aus. Also Doc ist sichtlich, verständlicherweise sichtlich schockiert darüber, dass er in der Zeitung liest, dass er umgebracht wird. Die Zeitung sowieso ein immer wiederkehrendes Motiv in den Filmen. Ganz, ganz toll.
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided. Do you?
Why don't we try to tough it out? Now that we know what's coming, maybe we sneak it past the gangsters with a bulletproof vest or something.
That might work with 1 or 2 bullets, but from the looks of this article, it appears that I'm going to be mowed down in a hail of Tommy gun fire that rendered the innocent stranger little more than a pulpy mass of bones and gristle.
Who writes like that?
According to the byline, one Edna Strickland.
I should have guessed. Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break you out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab and...
No, I said nearly complete. You need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me. 1931 me.
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely.
Won't talking to yourself cause, irreparable damage to the space-time continuum or something?
It should be fine. I've already invented the idea of the rocket drill. You've just got to goad my younger self into finishing the prototype.
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, I'm a pretty easygoing kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
Okay, Doc hat uns eine Telefonnummer gegeben, die wir jetzt anrufen werden. Dazu sollen wir in die Suppenküche gehen. Das tun wir jetzt.
McFly? Biff? Kid? Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right. That's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 + 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Warum sollte man denn eine Suppenküche niederbrennen? Naja, wird sich noch klären später. So, jetzt haben wir also gerade Tiff Tannen gesehen. Scheint ein Vorfahr von Biff zu sein. Und wenn wir zurückrechnen, müsste das der Vater von Biff sein. Und was noch viel interessanter war, hier an diesem Platz saß vorhin sein Großvater, Martys Großvater. Faszinierend. Auch eine direkte Anspielung an den ersten, zweiten und dritten Teil, obwohl ich mir beim dritten Teil jetzt gar nicht so sicher bin, aber auf jeden Fall wieder eine totale Anspielung an die Filme. Wir werden jetzt mal, mit dem Typen können wir nur interagieren und dann sagt Marty was Interessantes.
I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline.
Ja, dann lassen wir das lieber. Wir rufen jetzt hier an, benutzen jetzt diesen Telefon-Fernsprechapparat, hat man vielleicht früher noch gesagt, und rufen mal bei dem Anwesen der Browns an. Die Telefonnummer hat Doc uns ja gerade gegeben.
Brown residence.
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. Who may I say is calling?
The courthouse? Doc never told me you worked at the courthouse.
Coole Stimme. Der Typ da am Telefon. So, wir interagieren jetzt hier noch nicht weiter. Das kommt alles später noch. So, wir wissen jetzt, dass Doc im Courthouse arbeitet. Bevor wir dem auf die Spur gehen, schnacken wir aber nochmal mit unserem Doc. Also mit dem alten Doc aus dem Jahr 1986.
Psst, Doc.
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
So, according to the British guy on the phone, you're working at the courthouse.
Of course. In the summer of '31, my father made me work as a junior clerk.
That doesn't sound like any fun.
I hated every minute of it. My father was, strict. In any event, you should head over to the courthouse right away and introduce yourself to me.
Okay, wir schnacken hier aber noch ein bisschen weiter, bevor wir dahin eilen.
What does a law clerk do anyway?
Horrible paper shuffling task, but that's not important. Get yourself to the courthouse and find me.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
Ja, Doc hat ja Kinder, wie wir am Ende des 3. Films erfahren haben.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine, fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Where'd the DeLorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Griff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
It's for all intents and purposes the exact same machine as the original. Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
So, what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
Usual? You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
I hate to tell you, Doc, but your last time departed display is on the fritz.
It is? So how did you find me?
I found one of Edna Strickland's shoes in the DeLorean.
How did one of her shoes get in the DeLorean?
Einstein took it from her.
He did? How strange. Heidi almost never attacks people. Not without a good reason, anyway.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's Tannen is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kid Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
What's the story with this Kid Tannen jerk anyway?
Biff's father? By this time next year, he'll be pulling down a life sentence in San Quentin. There was even a song about it.
Wait, if Biff will be born in 1938, and Kid will be in prison...
As I recall, he escaped from prison in 1937 for about 3 hours.
That's a busy 3 hours.
No kidding.
What do you know about Edna Strickland?
Edna? We never really socialized when I was younger. She was a few years older than me, and we traveled in different socioeconomic circles. Why do you ask?
She thinks you're a hero for burning down that speakeasy. She's doing a story on you.
A story? Oh, yes, now I remember. Ask Edna, the etiquette column that doubled as a pro-temperance soapbox. She believed that the consumption of alcohol would inevitably lead to a complete societal breakdown.
Sounds like a fun gal.
You should have seen her when the hippies started showing up in the 60s. She just about lost her mind.
That would explain a lot. I know this really isn't the right time or place, but I found your notebook.
Ah, so that's where I left it. Why'd you bring it here?
Because the bank's selling off all your stuff.
They can't do that.
That's what I keep trying to tell them.
Well, you hold on to it for safekeeping. We'll deal with my financial situation in 1986 after we save me from a grisly death in 1931.
So, ich glaube, das war alles.
Hang
Gut,
in
haben wir
there,
noch,
Doc.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
haben wir noch ein paar Hintergrundinformationen bekommen. Sehr cool. So, und jetzt machen wir uns mal auf den Weg und suchen den jungen Doc. Also den jungen Emmett Brown. Okay, dazu überqueren wir die Straße. Na, komm schon. Ah, geht hier gar nicht. Also müssen wir das hier machen. So, er arbeitet im Gerichtsgebäude. Da gehen wir jetzt hin.
Touch those. These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Papa, I mean, Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm, Harry Callahan.
Emmett Brown, but I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact.
Das ist der junge Doc. Den quatschen wir jetzt mal an. Okay, ich versuche ihn mal ab jetzt nicht mehr Doc zu nennen, weil das vielleicht sonst zu Verwirrung führen könnte. Ich nenne ihn jetzt Emmett. Und unseren Doc, also den alten Doc, den nenne ich weiterhin Doc. So, jetzt müssen wir schnell zu Emmett. Wieso stelle ich mich denn so blöd an mit der Steuerung hier?
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter, very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. Callahan, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science.
Na, warte doch mal, Emmett.
Gale, SCHMaCKeS, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors.
So. Gut, es ist also schwer, irgendwie an Emmett ranzukommen. Er blockt das Gespräch ab. In der Zwischenzeit gehe ich nochmal zu Doc und schnacke nochmal mit ihm.
Psst, Doc.
Morty, how goes the escape plan?
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Oh, Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
I'm not sure.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Okay. Man hat es gerade schon ein bisschen gehört. Also der junge Emmett, der murmelt tatsächlich ein bisschen was vor sich hin. Und das ist noch wichtig für den weiteren Verlauf. Jetzt darauf sprechen wir Doc an.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... the Hill Valley Expo!
The expo?
Yes, the Expo. How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure. One which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
Okay, das war's.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget, we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Okay. Wir haben ihn jetzt auf das Murmeln angesprochen. Und Doc hat dann auf die Expo, kam dann auf die Expo und hat über die Expo gesprochen. Wir müssen der Sache mit dem Murmeln jetzt noch ein bisschen auf den Grund gehen. Jetzt müssen wir erstmal Emmett suchen. Der läuft nämlich immer von dem Courthouse zu der Anwaltskanzlei da drüben. Wir gehen in der Zwischenzeit nochmal zu Eingi und gucken, ob alles gut ist.
Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Oh, da hören wir ihn schon. Oh, jetzt bin ich in die falsche Richtung gelaufen. Mist. Emmett, warte! Da ist er. Jetzt quatschen wir ihn nochmal an.
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong, wrong, wrong.
Bleib hier! Okay, da kommen wir nicht weiter. Wie können wir den jungen Emmett knacken? Wir warten jetzt erstmal. Ich bin mir jetzt gar nicht sicher, ob er automatisch wieder rauskommt oder ob wir... Ja, kommt er. Hätte ja sein können, dass wir immer wieder zu dem alten Doc gehen müssen und schnacken müssen, bis er wieder rauskommt.
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Come on, you can trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for. In more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character! Or do we take H to stand for permitting a line operator?
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
So, eine Sache ist, glaube ich, noch übrig. Hier, genau.
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it.
So, wir kommen einfach nicht weiter. Wir hören ihm jetzt mal zu.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal
Okay, das
crime,
wollte ich
Mr.
nicht.
Callahan.
Jetzt kann ich auch nicht aussteigen, also ich muss ihn ansprechen.
About
Don't
your...
say it.
Wir hören das Murmeln, deutlich. So, wir warten jetzt nochmal auf ihn und jetzt widmen wir uns mal dieser Murmelei.
Will you just give me a chance?
Das macht er automatisch, also ich habe jetzt nichts gedrückt, um mit ihm zu interagieren.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it.
So, das Gemurmel. Wir haben ja hier ein Tonbandgerät. Das wählen wir jetzt aus und interagieren mit ihm.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it.
Das wollte ich nicht. Jedes Mal, wenn man rennt, dann mit Kreis legt man nämlich den ausgewählten Gegenstand wieder ab. Da habe ich jetzt Mist gebaut. Jetzt wähle ich das Ding wieder aus.
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh.
So, jetzt haben wir ihn aufgenommen. Sehr gut. Jetzt gehen wir mit der Tonbandaufnahme zu Doc. Ist irgendwie komisch, von den beiden mit verschiedenen Namen zu sprechen. Doc und Emmett, aber es fällt mir leichter, sonst haue ich die, ich hau die nicht durcheinander, aber vielleicht wird es für euch dann schwieriger zu verstehen, wen ich gerade meine. Und jetzt spielen wir dieses Tonbandgerät oder die Aufnahme mal Doc vor.
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was gonna say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
It'll be fine.
Okay, gut. Jetzt wissen wir, was wir sagen müssen. Was war das? H entspricht dem Hamiltonian Operator, glaube ich. So, da kommt er uns entgegen, sehr schön. Den quatschen wir jetzt an und sagen ihm das einfach mal. Vielleicht gewinnen wir so sein Vertrauen.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator.
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is a Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Ich komme vom Planeten Vulkan, ist auch gut. Auch eine Anspielung an Zurück in die Zukunft 1. Ich sage mal, ich lese viel Jules Verne.
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Er hat mich gar nicht aussprechen lassen, als ich sagen wollte, dass ich Jules Verne lese. Raketenbohrer. Ich brauche wirklich deinen Raketenbohrer. Oder ich brauche wirklich deinen Raketenbohrer. Nehmen wir das.
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done. I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. Part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. If it'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
Okay. Wir müssen irgendwie herausfinden, wo Arthur ist. Weil wir müssen ihm ja die Vorladung zustellen.
You have to deliver a lot of subpoenas.
Father's always sending me out to do these dirty jobs. He wants to expose me to different kinds of people. All he's exposed me to is a lot of new curse words.
If serving subpoenas is such dirty work, why don't you just say no?
Look, what's the worst thing that can happen to me on this job?
You could get shot.
Yeah, well, believe me, that's nothing compared to what I'll get if I mouth off to my pop.
Any idea where we could find Artie?
Not a jot. If only we had a way of tracking him.
This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
What do you know about Arthur McFly?
Certified accountant. Graduated Hill Valley 5 classes ahead of me. Seems like a nice fellow, actually.
How did he get mixed up with a guy like Kid Tannen?
Who knows? Sometimes people find themselves stuck in situations they can't get out of.
How about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. This might be a stupid question, but couldn't you have designed your rocket-powered drill to run on fuel that, you know, isn't illegal?
Illegal? What does law have to do with science? Science has its own laws. You of all people should know that.
But couldn't you tweak your engine design a little so it runs on something else?
Like what?
I don't know, gas maybe?
Gasoline? Yesterday's news. You'll see. By 1940, automobiles will all run on pure alcohol.
Some of us down at the patent office are wondering, what made you think of a rocket-powered drill?
Ah, that'd be Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It was a revelation.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured. Have you read The Time Machine?
H.G. Wells? Not yet, but it's on my list.
Okay, gut.
We'll get that subpoena delivered, or my name isn't...
Harry Callahan!
Yeah.
Okay, er hat keine Ahnung, wie wir Arthur McFly finden. Unseren Großvater. Hier ist Edna nochmal, mit der müssen wir gleich nochmal sprechen. Aber als erstes gehen wir zu Kid Tannen rüber.